this is just amazing. You guys were fabulous. Thank you so much. What a thrill. What a thrill. Now I have my latest grandchild here with me. And his name is Nathan. And let's see, Nathan is a few months old. How old is he, Laurie?
2.5.
2.5 months old. And then there's Mia over there, my granddaughter. And Nick and Chloe here. This is my son, Matt, and his wife, Laurie. My brother, Scott, coming up here, Scott. Scott is here, and I've got nephews in the room. And of course, you all know my chairman here in California, Tony Strickland. You know Congressman Buck McKeon and Congressman Dana Horbacher. Thank you for your help, guys. And I didn't see Congressman Campbell here, Congressman John Campbell. Thank you for being here as well. Now this campaigning is going to have an impact on this little guy. He's going to wonder what all this noise is. But my family is getting used to it. We're going all over the country campaigning. And last night we were back somewhere east. I guess we were in St. Louis. And we said, something's happening out in California. We got to get back to California. That's my sister that came up and just joined me here. My sister Jane also. And so, it started over the weekend when we had a caucus in Maine. You see, Mainers got together. They got 2 senators there, of course, like every state, and both of those senators are working for Senator McCain. But my son Tag and his son Joseph went from caucus to caucus, and we ended up winning that in a squeaker, 50-22. Something big is happening in California. Now and then I get asked why it is I'm in this race and why I put aside my life in the private sector and got involved in politics like I have. I remember going back to the days of my dad. He said, "Don't get involved in politics. Not a good idea. Not until your kids are raised," and my kids are raised now, as you can see. And as I've raised my kids, I get more concerned not just about myself, but more concerned about them and the kind of America they're going to enjoy, and more concerned about little guys like Nathan and the kind of America he's going to enjoy. Your kids and grandkids deserve to have a country that's safe and prosperous like the country we inherited. You see, our kids deserve to get what we got. Our parents and grandparents, the greatest generation, gave us a nation that's free, that's strong, the most powerful nation in the world, the most prosperous nation in the world. That's why we call them the greatest generation. And it's time for us to be a great generation also, and to give our kids and grandkids that same kind of America. And unless we change course in Washington and bring real citizen leadership to Washington, we can find our country being something less than what we inherited. I watch Washington and realize that they just can't get the job done there. We need to have more people like these guys who are willing to fight for change. I want to be one of them. And as I've gone across the country and I've had town meetings, people tell me the concerns they have. And I began to recognize that the concerns they're talking about are things we've been talking about for years, and Washington just hasn't gotten the job done. They told us they'd solve the problem of Social Security, but they haven't. And they told us that they would rein in excessive spending, and they haven't. And they told us that they'd balance the budget, and they haven't. And they told us they'd live by high ethical standards, and they haven't. And they told us as well that they'd get health care for us that was affordable and portable, and they haven't. And they told us they'd stop illegal immigration, and they haven't. And they told us they'd get off of our dependence on foreign oil, and they haven't. The list goes on and on and politicians to go and for the citizens to take over. If you get a chance to watch the Democratic rallies and you listen to Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, you'll see that they're talking about change as well. And I'm convinced they would change America, just not the way you want it to change. And I believe that they take their inspiration from the Europe of the past. They believe in Big Brother and big government and big taxes. That's not the way that America's going to go to remain strong. Instead, we need to take our inspiration from Ronald Reagan and stay in the house that Ronald Reagan built. You see, during those Carter years, a lot of Americans spent their time looking at their shoes because we felt that malaise Jimmy Carter used to talk about. And he indeed did bring us a malaise. And Ronald Reagan came along and he said, lift your eyes. We're a great people. We're a good people. We're a shining city on a hill. And we still are and will always be. Ronald Reagan knew that to make America strong, we had to start with strong families. We had to teach our kids enduring values. And that means, for me, it means our kids need to have good health care and good schools and enduring values. We need to teach our kids that before they have babies, they should get married. And marriage comes first. But he also said we had to have a strong military. Now, during the Clinton years, Bill Clinton reduced the size of our active duty personnel by some 500,000. He took almost 80 ships out of the Navy. He cut our Air Force by 25%. He cut our human intelligence capacity by 25%. And in my view, it's time to rebuild our military strength with at least 100,000 more troops, better equipment for our troops,